Yo, how's it going, everybody? In today's Rocket League video, this is going to be episode number 1 of the How to Improve series, where I'm going to be teaching you mechanics, how to get to Grand Champion, tips and tricks, all that good jazz, how to use arrow right, flip resets, air dribbles, musty flicks, everything you need to know to get to Grand Champion, plus tips and tricks on game advice. But this is episode 1. This is going to start everything off, and obviously you guys know me for camera settings, so we're going to start there. But this is going to be more so of a guide instead of just giving you a base of camera settings. So let's get straight into it. So for the gameplay tab of the settings, the input buffer is actually pretty important. This is about the only one. I'd copy everything else, make sure everything else is on high. But the input buffer, if you play on default right here, and you notice lag spikes every game or something like that, then I would switch to CSTS, and this has solved my problem. Because it would be like every single game I would just get like a lag spike like once or twice, and it would just piss me off. But once I switched to CSTS, it was completely gone, it vanished, and I had no more lag spikes. So try that out if you do notice that, or if you're on CSTS and notice it, switch back to default. I don't know if STS does the same thing, but you could try that as well. But if none of those work, then it's either a hardware issue in your computer or game system, or it's just an internet issue that you have, so you might want to get that checked out. For the camera settings, these are my camera settings right now. These are Rawas's, Nupo's, and I want to say Joyo and Vatira's settings. All these pros starting to use 90 height, because these actually used to be Rawas's settings, the 100 -5. But now he uses 90 -5, so I'm wondering why he's switching to 90 height. Maybe because everybody else is. So I went and made the switch too, since all the pros are making it. But basically the settings, you want to have your field of view from 107 to 110. You want the distance from, let's say, 250 to 280, maybe 300, like Dark used to have, is alright. But then you start losing sort of your vision after you go past 300, like your depth perception and everything. But 270 is like a really good sweet spot for me and many pros as well. Height, I would say go from 80 to 110. Don't go over 110, don't go below 80. 90 is perfect for me, because I can go ahead and show you right now. If I go into training with 90 height, it actually affects how you get flip resets and air dribbles. So let's just try to show you real quick. If I get a flip reset, look how soft it goes off my car. Let me try to show you again, and then I'll compare it to 100 height and 110 height. So look how soft I get the flip reset. You see how soft that is? So if I switch to 100 height now, notice it's a little bit more bouncy, which honestly I kind of do like. I've been switching back and forth between 100 and 190. But as you can see, you get a softer, or a little bit more of a bounce coming off the ball. And then if we go to 110, you get even more of a bounce. It just, as you go up, you get more of a bounce for flip resets, and air dribbles as well. Yeah, see how much bounce you get right there? It fucking hit the ceiling because of how bouncy it was. Let's try it again. They get a little bit softer, so it doesn't hit the ceiling, just so I can really show you. Yeah, see how bouncy that is. But honestly, it's all personal preference. If you like the bounce, go ahead and go with it. Sometimes the 90 height will mess you up because it'll be like stuck to the car kind of. But 90 height actually does kind of bounce a little bit too, but it's actually it's a good bounce. It's a good bounce, if you know what I'm saying. What? Yeah, so that's the height portion of it. And then we have the angle right after it. So the angle, I would go from -3 to -5. Do not go any lower, do not go any higher. -3 to -5, pick one. You can go 3, 4, or 5. Just pick one and then roll with it. The only time I would accept going higher is if you would go to a 80 height, like I said, which was the lowest you could go. I could see you doing this at -6, which is perfectly fine, but that's it. That's the only tolerable option. Do not go anything lower than 3. So if you go 2 and 1 and 0, you're crazy. But but that's what I'm rocking right now. Stiffness, all personal preference. You could go 0 to 1. Basically what this does is, I can go into training real quick. It basically depends on how when you're driving your car, how the camera sticks to it. So as you can see on 1 stiffness, the camera will basically never move as I speed up. It'll literally just stick to my car. Some people like this, I do not. I used to play on 1 stiffness, and I can tell you right now, I did not like it. But then you go down to 0 stiffness, and as you can see, the camera's already ISO. See, I'm starting here. As I speed up, the camera gets super zoomed out. It's like I'm at 400 height right now, or angle, or distance. Jesus, I cannot talk right now, guys. I just woke up. Sorry. But yeah, so that's that. I would recommend going like 0.5. Honestly, no, I would go like 0.3 to 0.7 maybe. But I'm just sticking with 0.4 right now, right in between. Swivel speed and transition speed are all personal preference. You can put these at whatever you like. Basically, swivel speed is how fast your camera, when you move your camera left to right or up and down, how fast it turns. So I keep it relatively low just so I can see what's going on the field, and it's still somewhat fast. Transition speed is how fast it snaps onto the ball. So if I were to raise this from 1.2 to 2, it would just be an instant snap, and I'm basically snapping my neck every time I do that, and I want to kill myself. So I just put that on 1.2. And yeah, so those are basically the camera settings portion of it. If you have any questions on that, leave a comment down below. The controls section is all personal preference and how your controller reacts. If you have stick drift, just put the dead zone a little bit higher, like 0.2, or just notice whenever you don't stop getting stick drift, just keep raising until you notice it that's not stick drift anymore. Dodge dead zone is also personal preference. If you notice you're going for fast aerials and you're flipping a lot, then I would raise it up a little bit until you stop flipping. If you notice you're double jumping a lot, I would lower it when you're trying to flip. You know, pretty self-explanatory there. But yeah, so that's basically the settings. Aerial and steering sensitivity are all personal preference. If you want yours higher, put it higher. If you want yours lower, put it lower. It really does not matter. At the end of the day, it's your settings. But yeah, so those are basically all the settings that you need to know. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial video, which will probably be the air roll right and left guide, and how I learned it in 2 days. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial video, and stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.